Welcome back. Hi, Editor Dart here with an intermezzo about the grade 4 puzzle. So let's bring up the same sort of scorecard class result that we have for the grade 2 intermezzo that we've already done. We see that we have 4 students, Artie, Patricia, Proja, and Kathleen. 3 of them have explicit grades. Artie got 5 out of 7, Patricia got 5 out of 7, Proja got 4 out of 7. Kathleen just got the annotation, I hope that's not a political statement, and a C-. We'll get to that in a second, but because we haven't been told explicitly what Kathleen's numerical mark is, we're going to ignore her paper for now. So we're just going to concentrate on Artie, Patricia, and Proja, and specifically, we're going to look at Artie and Patricia first. So, both of them have 5 out of 7, and between them, there are 4 symbols on which they agree. So, if there had only been 3 symbols on which they agree, then it would be clear those have to be right. The only way to get 5 out of 7, we have to make an assumption here. We have to make an assumption that these symbols are the correct symbols, with the possible exception of the one that Kathleen said for Orinda Aries, because we sort of know the story behind that one. But we're going to assume that the other symbols are all correct. If it's wrong, it's misplaced. Nobody made up a symbol because they couldn't think of what the symbol should be. So, if the symbols are correct, but only 5 out of 7 are right, then 2 of them have swapped places. If Artie and Patricia agreed on 3 of them, then that means that Artie swapped 2 of them, Patricia swapped a different 2 of them, and on the other 3 they would have to agree because they're right. Does that extend to this situation where 4 of them are right? Is it possible that one of the symbols on which Artie and Patricia agree is actually wrong? So let's set their actual papers aside and try to construct a situation where we have the case that they agree on a symbol, but they both got the same symbol wrong with the same answer. So let's do a very easy kindergarten test. The 7 questions are 1 through 7, and their correct answers are 1 through 7. So let's say that both of these students got the first question wrong. They both think that that's a 7. And so that's what they've answered. That's incorrect. Now, is it possible for both students to get 5 out of 7 and agree 4 times exactly? So our first student would have to get 5 right. So just without any penalty for picking these 5, let's just say that the first student got the next 5 right. Could be any of them. We can just swap rows to get any other configuration, so we don't lose anything by specifying that these next 5 are correct. And that means they must have gotten the last one wrong. So if the second student also got 5 right, the only way that's possible is if it's the same 5. Because if it's 4 other ones getting, for example, question number 7 right, well, part of it is number 7 is already gone. It can't be that one. There isn't any way to fill this in to get 5 correct answers that aren't 2 through 6. So that's where we are. If they agree on 4 answers, those 4 answers have to be correct. So we know that the chevron, the tilted rectangle with a semicircle attached to it, the pentagon, and the mountain, they have to be right. So all 4 students got the mountain right. Proja got the pentagon right. We know Kathleen got the symbol for Orinda Aries incorrect because we know that that is an old, controversial symbol. It's not right. The other ones we don't know. So out of those three, the diamond, the half donut, and the hourglass shape, each of them knew one and then put the other two backwards. That's what we know. But there's no way to know which is which. So we're going to leave Artie and Patricia alone for the time being. So now, let's take a look at Proja's paper. Proja got the first question wrong because Proja did not write the chevron symbol. Additionally, Proja got the second and third questions wrong because we know where those two answers belong. The answer that Proja gave for the second question belongs on the third question. The answer that Proja gave for the third question belongs on the first question. So there's 3 wrong answers for Proja. But Proja got 4 out of 7, so the other 4 must be correct. So the diamond and the hourglass symbol are where they should be on Proja's paper. Those are the 4 correct answers. Which means Artie got the 5th question correct, because Artie put the hourglass symbol where it belongs. And the diamond and the semicircle are the 2 that were backwards. So that means we now know what the correct sequence is. The correct sequence is chevron, semicircle, tilted rectangle, diamond, hourglass, pentagon, mountain. If we check everybody's paper, Patricia reversed the hourglass and the diamond and now has a score of 5 out of 7, so it all hangs together. Even if we take a look at Kathleen, there was a way to use Kathleen's paper to sort of help us out. It wasn't necessary because we have the thing solved at this point. But if you take a look at Kathleen's, she's got 4 right, which makes sense because Proja's letter grade was a C-, just like Kathleen's was. So if you felt like making the logical leap, you could say, well, they both got a C-. A C- must equate to 4 out of 7 because that would be weird with a paper with only 7 marks to give out, that either 2 different results both get a C-. There's plenty of space for getting a D or a B or a F or whatever. But it makes sense that a C- applied to both of them represents the same score. So that's what happened. And that's the solution. Thank you for watching this video. It belongs as part of day 15 of my blind playthrough of the blueprints. We got to the 4th grade classroom in that episode, and we sort of took a tour around the classroom and said, well, we're just going to look at the papers and we're going to solve this separately. This is the solution. So now hopefully that other video makes a ton of sense. After these 2 blueprints videos, we are going to flip back to Lingo 2. And then we're going to come back to what's going to turn out to be a very important day at Mount Holly. So I hope you tune in to episode 16. Until then, goodbye.